hang on, no, hopefully. Yes.
Oh, I'm good to go.
You're good to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just before I start this, I just want to explain that the presentation I'm doing, because I deal with young people, is I'm delivering this to 16 to 19-year-olds who have probably never worked, never applied for a job, who are on an employability course. So I have to explain that it's not aimed at a high level, but quite a low level. Right, okay. So the aims of today's presentation is to understand the process of a job application, how it's viewed by an employer, and the importance of writing a quality application form. The objectives of today, by the end of this session, you will be able to develop an awareness of why employers use the application process, identify at least 3 ways to write a quality application, and explain 2 reasons why an application could be rejected. Okay, CV or application form. Obviously on the last couple of sessions we've covered CV, and you've all now got a beautiful CV. So we're out to discuss an application form and how these differ from CVs. So the first question I sort of want to pose to you is, why do some employers prefer to use the application process rather than a CV? Anybody apply via an application form? Yeah, Frank, what do you think? Why do some employers, do you think, go for an application form rather?
I think it's more to look at a standardised process, and also to see how you might apply yourself to a task.
Okay. Anybody else? Is that quite
I believe some application forms have a barcode on them
barcode?
with some companies.
Right,
A lot
okay.
of them just sort of
Scan
scan
it.
it through,
Okay.
and then it's a way in which you can actually see it electronically and send it on to people if necessary.
Right, okay, which you wouldn't get with a CV. So, with a little bit of research, basically we found out that doing an application form tends to be fairer for all candidates, and this is part of an equal opportunities monitoring. Usually companies like public sector companies tend to use an application process rather than a smaller employer. That's one of the reasons an application form should be used, or would be used. Just to try and briefly explain that, can anyone explain what we mean by it's fairer for candidates to use an application rather than a CV?
Not everybody's got access to nice printers and word processors and things like that, so an application form that you just fill in, everybody fills in, would be fair maybe.
Yeah, and also how that can be viewed with an application form, especially coming from the public sector, is that as long as you've got transferable skills, you don't, on a CV it's very structured, the kind of jobs and what you've actually done in your job. So in the public sector you can get people from all different types of jobs that are applying for, say, a customer service job because they've got those transferable skills. So in some cases an application form can be fairer. It's easy to make comparisons between candidates. I think we've just sort of touched on this a little bit, and it's easy to shortlist because everything's quite structured. And the other one, it's easy when dealing with large volumes of applicants. Does anybody want to sort of think about that, comment on that? Why would that be easier when you've got lots? You might have 150 application forms.
Because you're standardised and easy to go through, I guess.
Yeah, so quite similar to
Yeah, the information will be in the same place on each form, so.
Right, let's give us a chocolate.
Is that your prize?
I tried it before.
Yeah, but my own use.
Okay. What I want to do is just hand out. This is a very simple application form. Very short one. I know you don't know these ones, but there you go. You've got to pretend that you're 16. Application forms. Application forms obviously can vary quite a lot. This is a very short one. Okay. Application forms can go 2, 3, right up to 6 pages. So what I'd just like you to do is just think about this just for a couple of minutes. If you check through the application form and the different information it's given you, then you can just feedback a little bit as to what you think an employer will be looking for on this form. Yeah, so as an example, maybe the way it's presented. Yeah, so when we say presentation, what do you think I mean by how it's presented?
What is legibility?
Yeah. So it could be spelling, is it clean, is it written well? So that's just an example. So if you can just sort of go through these and look at the qualifications, just come up with a few little things that you think an employer will be scrutinising once this is completed. The kind of things. Well, individually at the moment, yeah. And I'll just give you a couple of minutes just to read through. Just basically just one answer from each person, maybe. Is everyone okay with that? Yeah?
Sorry, John, you meant to be filling something.
No, you can fill in if you want to. It's
Yeah.
just if you want to concentrate on a section like qualifications, and then you can feedback something that what will an employer be looking for on there. You know it's qualifications, but
Yes.
okay. Is everyone ready? Has everyone got at least one? Okay, Frank, do you want to go first?
Yeah, the interests, experience and other information to support your application. That's important because it'll show you competencies and how competent you are to do the job.
So it'd be looking at the skills that you
Yeah, the
on
skills
application
and
form.
Qualities of what somebody has to bring to the table.
Okay. Amanda?
Your experience in employment shows your motivation towards whether you've actually, sort of, I don't know, younger kids do paper rounds, don't they, up until leaving school?
Okay. So meeting the criteria of the job description?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone? John?
Yeah, well, reference, that's important because otherwise the whole application could be complete hogwash unless you can sort of check it out with reference.
Okay. Any idea who you'd have as a reference?
You could have a class teacher, you could have a police officer you may know, you could have a past employer.
Okay. And last but not least?
Qualifications, they're important because it enables the employer to see how well a young person has done at school or has done many qualifications that they've done after they've finished school as well.
Okay, so as an employer, if you'd advertised a job and it was asking for D's and double maths and English in your application form, whoever you read it shows E's and F's and maths and English, how would you take that as an employer? What would you do?
Well, if it was an essential part of the job, then unfortunately that young person wouldn't be able to apply with them. But I don't know, maybe some employers are more open to consider other qualifications, maybe more vocational
Okay,
qualifications.
fine. Kind of things we're looking for or what employers look for. So it can go from, the way it arrived on the desk in the envelope. We have had young people applying screwed up CV or application form in a little Christmas card. So obviously presentation from the off is what an employer will be looking for. Obviously presentation of the application form, how it arrived, is it all creased up, is it folded nicely, obviously spelling, maybe the reason for applying. A lot of people apply for jobs and don't tell the employer why they're applying. Why do you think it's important to say the reason for applying? Rather than just applying because.
It's to show why you want to work for a company. The reason for applying is I want to work for this company because of this, or this.
Excellent.
Rather than I want to work for your company because it's a job.
Excellent.
and it's
Yes.
near my house,
Yes.
and I need the money.
And I can get up at 5 to 9 and still
Yes.
have to work from 9 o'clock.
Obviously job description met, so as much, if there's no experience, what is near to, as we were talking before about transferable skills, skills criteria met if you haven't worked before, so you might have skills that you gained from school and that can match maybe some of the job description or the skills that the employer is asking for. Qualifications met, as you said as well, some that you have to have C's and above, so sometimes it's advisable not to apply for a job if they're asking for C's and above in maths and English and you haven't got any. It's very off-putting just to keep getting rejection and rejection. And personal qualities met. You know, they might ask in that job somewhere for personal qualities, which could be, you know, well-mannered, honest, that kind of thing. Okay? Right. What I want to do now is just a little group task. I'm just going to give you another handout. Well, a couple of handouts actually. And what we'll do, we'll spend 5 minutes, I'll explain the task. But here is a job description. I think I've got enough. Have you got enough? Yeah. Okay. That's for a job in a warehouse. And what we have here, actually I've just about got enough. There are 5 completed application forms. So what I would like you to do is choose an application form from the envelope. You can work in pairs if you wish with this, or maybe a group of 3. Read through the application form against the criteria on the job description. Yeah? And I need you to decide whether this person, you will interview them for a job, well, for that particular job. And then at the end of it, if you can just feed back to me each pair or group of 3, one example of why this person was successful, and maybe one unsuccessful, because they've done something on here that you would think, no, I'm sorry, I wouldn't interview you. Okay? So if I give you, say, about 5 minutes just to complete that. What I will do, I'm just going to flick back to what employees are looking for, just to give you an idea, if you've forgotten, some of the criteria that an employee will look for when scanning an application form. Because unfortunately we haven't got the scanning machine for the granddaddy dog anymore. Is everybody okay with what I've asked? Yeah. But don't write on the application form. Sorry, I use these quite a lot for an exercise. It doesn't matter, Frank. It's okay, it's okay. Do you want some paper to write on? Or write on the back of the job description? I don't know.
So we go to groups.
Sorry?
Groups.
I said either in pairs, or you can do a group of 3,
So what's
so you
your
can have a chat about it, and you can work individually, however you feel comfortable.
So is addressed it correctly on that one? My one's not. My one's not.
If you're not sure about anything, ask the person next to you.
There's an end taken as an first instructions.
That's.
I don't know, but it don't fit on that one.
So we're just using one application form.
You can use 2, no, use 2, because what I'm going to do, I want feedback from the 5 application forms, but you can work as a pair, or as a 3.
Mine's got a mistake there, it's got information on there, it's gone over it there,
So they just sort of scribbled and crossed things out rather than
I'm
doing
using
it
text
again.
talk a lot more than I should have when I'm with my mates,
Let's see what one is like.
and there's just spell mistakes. Worked it until, and then I got to the end of it, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just use one application form.
Okay.
It's got a mistake there.
Does it
Work doctor. That's a northern accent. Work doctor. Yorkshire accent. Work doctor.
I mean, obviously you don't have to write a lot down. I'm only asking for one
Compared to your
Well,
one.
this
One
one's
bad one
absolutely
and one good one.
gorgeous. They've done everything correctly. They've done it really neatly.
Yeah.
Used the black pen and they've done it in capital letters. It's really easy to
And at
do.
the end of the day, would
They've
you interview
passed
this
their
person
quiz.
for that job?
Doesn't say what grade
Doesn't
that's
say
out
what
there.
grade, but they just said pass.
Pass at GCSE would be HCC, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that you could perhaps ask them at the interview. You said you passed, but what was the grade?
Yeah.
Everything again really neat. So the training course
Well,
and
they use what capitals in that section.
No, that's true.
How are we doing? We've got a couple of minutes left.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you have to use
Oh,
one.
well, yes. So,
Well, for me, I wouldn't reject it just because you haven't started. What?
they've done it in the main thing that matters.
I think it's critical to have reference.
Yeah, they're very keen. They've got lots of skills and qualities.
Are you
Actually,
doing
it's-
You got yours down? Have you got all yours down with 2 examples for me? So I just need 1 example from each. One, something good and something not very good. Doesn't have to be chapter and verse.
So it's a good standard memorandum. It's not. So we have.
Are we clutching at straws? Yeah.
Yeah.
Reference.
What about yours?
Well, there's actually sent it in
Experience still.
Yeah.
Yes, they've sent it in. They found a pen. That's a pink one. They found a pen.
Confident communicator, it's teamwork and skills.
Okay, can we done?
No, no, it's not.
Yeah, you two will be fine?
Yeah.
You've got your 2 examples?
Yeah, got this one, saying, mistakes. Mistake on there, no, deletes the English and maths. And this one.
Right.
He's got great work experience. He's been translated over now.
We'll do a little bit of feedback. Anybody want to go first? Amanda, do you want to go first with your application form? If you just say, give us one good.
Well, one good one is, like just a minute ago, but yeah, they've actually sent it in.
Okay. And what's one example of why it's quite bad?
It's all in Finnish.
Right. Okay. And should you send a application form in red pen?
I wouldn't personally.
Okay. Right.
You can't copy them if they're in pink anyway, because I mean that's one of the reasons they say black pen, isn't it? So you can
But if it's formal,
so-
everything's in black, isn't it? Formal, like driving license application, passport application.
And it does state, I think, on there that you have to write it
So they
in
haven't followed the
black.
instructions. Yeah.
So, would you interview the person for the job?
I possibly would on the grounds of you don't know their background, with no qualifications, with nothing else. You don't know what chances of having might not have any money to go out and buy black pen.
Okay.
That's what is real life, isn't it? Some people just don't have the chances.
Okay.
So
Anyone
yeah,
else want to feedback their findings?
Yeah. I was going to say struggling to find something positive, but he has got GCSE, Maths C and English and D, but he has got loads and loads of spelling mistakes on there. But if you look at it from a different angle,
Okay.
the job is a warehouse and assistant job. Does he need to have fantastic English? Does he need to, do you know what I mean? And
It's an apprenticeship.
and it's going to be an apprenticeship, so they're going to get additional skills on there.
Okay.
So,
Would you interview that person?
for an apprenticeship role, if I had hundreds of applications,
Probably would.
probably not.
Okay.
If I'd only had maybe 3, 4, 5, then yeah, I would,
Okay.
to give them a chance. And then in return, that could be experience for them.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this young chap here, he's misspelled on the envelope,
Okay.
capitals and crossing it off. So skills qualifications, he needs a good standard of maths and English desirable. He's got a grade D in maths and English, but he's got a really good past work experience. So based on that and his provided reference, I would give him, again, because it is a warehouse assistant, I would give him an interview, because I just think, well, you know, his English isn't great, but he's worked in a similar position before. He wants to do this stuff, so
Right.
I would.
We have Cody here. His envelope was quite poor. There's no name on it, on his envelope. So it's a bigger company. It could go, you know, around every department before it gets to the right person.
Okay.
He's also used lowercase letters, but I'm being a bit overcritical perhaps, but I just think that he should write it in capitals.
Yeah.
His qualifications, he's got adult literacy and numeracy. Alright, so now the qualifications on here say good standard, it's desirable. I don't know, I might give him the benefit of the doubt, but then looking through the rest of the application form, I'm thinking really that he's got no employment history. He hasn't done any sort of voluntary work, he hasn't done any sort of work experience. He's written 2 lines for his experience and information to support his application, for which most of it is just along the lines of I kick my feet up watching TV, playing football, and I love to go and watch the football every Saturday. So it's nothing that's transferable as such into the post.
Okay, thank you for that.
And there's no reference either. It just seems to have ignored some part of it.
Okay, mine's the star of the show. I've got James. No, he's John James. And he's done everything that's been required. He's got capitals. He's got lots of passes at GCSE. He hasn't said what grades they are, but he's got passes. He's given a nice bit of information about himself. He's done different courses in first aid and health and safety, which would help him in the warehouse. He says he can work in a team and he likes working with people. He's punctual. He's got lots of things. So he's given me the reference as well.
So there's nothing bad on there.
I
Can
would
you not give me
I would say, no, I can't see any reason. Certainly wouldn't, can't see any reason why I wouldn't employ him.
He's overqualified, big trouble.
I'd give him an interview, absolutely. So.
Okay. Right. I hope you enjoyed that little group work session on looking at, from the employer's point of view, of how an employer would view an application form, because sometimes you can see it in a totally different light because you're scrutinising it, whereas when you're writing it, you're not thinking about what someone will be looking at. So, revisiting the objectives, yeah? We said that you would develop an awareness of why employers use the application process. Could somebody give me an example of an awareness of why employers use the application process?
Standardise.
Okay,
Standardise
yeah.
information.
Equal opportunities.
Equal opportunities, yeah. What about the comparison between a CV and an application form? Is that harder? Is it more difficult?
At least they say it's easier, they don't need to
Okay.
process.
So it makes it easier for an employer to use an application form rather than a CV. And because it's standardised then, can someone come up with another one? John?
An awareness.
Yes.
I can't think of any more. Apart from it's more the benefits of company, because again it's their standards which they're applying as opposed to the applications.
Easy to benchmark.
Yeah, and high volumes of application forms, so it's easy to control. Okay. Identify at least 3 ways to write a quality job application. Amanda, can you give me an example of something good you've seen on there that
Following the instructions on the application form.
excellent? Excellent.
And use a black pen.
You see, I'd have to sort of say, what if my applicant was dyslexic? How, my son may be able to fill an application form in black pen. Never. You never know his life, will never do it.
Right. You can do them online. I don't know if that helps, or you could get someone to write it for you.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah. Can I have anyone else can come up with one? You've had 2 ways. one more way to make CVs and application forms successful from what you've seen on what you've judged.
Just make sure you can provide evidence for the questions that we ask.
And I just need 2 reasons why an application could be rejected. I'm sure you can come up with more than 2 after what you've just viewed.
Spelling mistakes.
Spelling mistakes, hold on.
Carelessness.
Yeah,
Not having the relevant qualifications.
okay. Right, on the next session that you'll be attending next week, we are going to practice completing an application form. So now you've viewed how to pull it all together. So what I would like you to do for next week is to bring in a job vacancy. So go on the internet, check out a job that you think you would like to apply for, and if you bring it in next week, there's a couple of website addresses there, and what I've done, so you can put these in your folder, so there's no excuses why you can't remember the website number. Those are the 3. So you can check through those, print a job off for next week, and just to add to your folder, just to reinforce what we've talked about today, there's a little bit on there about online application forms and paper application forms and things like read over it. So extra hints and tips on there for you if you'd like to take one of those. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for coming.